Trump's also now pushing this lie of like, Colorado's not taken over by Venezuelan gangs. This is exactly what he does every time he's run. MS-13, the caravan. I'm sure some of these Mexicans who are coming across as rapists are nice people. This is what the right does. They will take a story off of the local news. They will twist it. We see this now with Charlie Kirk, and I can imagine every other right-wing show right now is talking about how Haitian immigrants are eating people's pets.
Or the Venezuelan crime gangs
that's what
taking over
that's what this clip is.
Yeah.
They will do this over and over again. They will take a story. In the Haitian pet story, it actually was a woman who, they don't even know if it's Haitian, was black, has been voting for at least 6 years in this country, so not an immigrant, killed a cat, supposedly was eating it at night, like raw or something.
Ew.
Clearly, someone who was probably having some type of mental break, whether it was drug associated or not, we don't know. That then spins into Haitian immigrants who've moved into a town in Ohio because there has been an influx of Haitian immigrants. We've had a lot of political turmoil there. We have natural disasters. Are now eating people's pets because of a vague report that maybe one person killed a duck. Incidentally, duck is like, people kill ducks.
People eat ducks.
I don't know if you've ever been to a farm where they raise ducks for killing ducks, but they do. But this is, and then it becomes, comes into some type of phenomena. This is all coming from one video of a gang in completely dilapidated housing run by a slumlord where all of the tenants have come out and said bed bugs, rats, complete structure falling apart. And one person sees a video of 5 guys in a gang, and then all of a sudden it's like Venezuelan gangs have taken over all these things when it's really about the landlord who's an absentee slumlord, doesn't want to put money in there and is looking for an excuse as to why all of the tenants are coming out and doing protests and press conferences saying this absentee slumlord is basically screwing us all over. Here's Donald Trump. He picks it up.
Radicals headed up by a radical governor in Colorado that has no clue how to solve this influx of crime into his state. And by the way, Colorado's one state. It's much worse in other states. But in Colorado, they've taken over. I mean, in Colorado, they're so brazen, they're taking over sections of the state. And, getting them out will be a bloody story. Should have never been allowed to come into our country. Nobody checked them. Nobody checked. Were they criminals? Were they from jails? We have them pouring out from jails. We have the worst criminals in all of these countries. 168 so far are registered, 168 countries. They're in our country, and they said, if you come back, you will be executed. You will be killed immediately. Not going to be easy, but we'll do it. But they have no clue how to solve their influx of crime in Colorado or anywhere else. But far more importantly,
all right, we don't need to hear any more of the, I mean, this is what you're going to see, constant stuff like this. The right is going to trumpet, is going to walk this. There's one beat cop in New York City who is quoted in a New York Post piece claiming that 75% of crime in Midtown Manhattan are immigrants. One cop. The New York Post reports it, and then every other right-wing outfit posts it as if it's a fact. There is no data to support this. Crime is down precipitously in New York. August was one of the sort of like the least killings, least shootings. I mean, just crime is down significantly from where it's been for the last 20 years. Significantly less crime than there was 25 years ago. And, the irony is people say that it was because of Rudy Giuliani. Actually, when you include Rudy Giuliani in that, crime is up this year.
Just on his alone.
On him alone. But the fact is, you're going to see, I have no doubt in my mind, that if Tim Pool or Steven Crowder or Dave Rubin is doing a show right now, they are talking about Venezuelan gangs and Haitians eating your pets. This is what xenophobia and racism look like. They will find anything to hang their hats on it, and just be alert. These stories are going to be fake.
It's been this way in 2018 when I was going to those Trump events. I would ask them what their number one issue was, and it was always the caravan, the caravan, the caravan, the caravan, the migrants coming over on this caravan. And what do you know? As soon as the midterms were over, no one gave a crap about the caravan. No one was talking about the caravan.
Oh,
in fact,
it disappeared.
Said caravan just evaporated into thin air. And they're doing the exact same playbook. And it's just like we have to do this every single time to combat this, where people feel like, okay, this explodes, right? The New York Post puts it everywhere. It's definitionally a moral panic that the right just rides through on top of, I guess. And then there are people that fall for it every single time, and you have to go like, okay, let's walk this back. Where did this originate from? So it's a good, as I've been saying about this entire story about the Colorado, apartment complex, it's a good test of people's media literacy, honestly.
And our vice presidential nominee for Donald Trump and Ohio Senator J.D. Vance just posted this old clip of him at a community hearing saying, "Months ago, I raised the issue of Haitian illegal immigrants draining social services and generally causing chaos all over Springfield, Ohio.
I was racist back then, too.
Reports now show that people have had their pets abducted and eaten by people who shouldn't be in this country.
God.
Where is our border czar?" And Anthony Adron at Politico just aggregated this from the Springfield newspaper in Ohio. The Springfield Police Division said Monday morning they have received no reports.
Pop it up. I mean, this is the vice presidential nominee claiming that Haitian immigrants are stealing pets and eating them. Here is this is a guy from Politico,
the congressional reporter for Politico.
The Springfield Police Division said Monday morning they have received no reports, zero reports related to pets being stolen and eaten. Zero reports. And I guarantee you this stuff is going to be all over right-wing media. All over right-wing media.
They're just doing satanic panic, but with racism, right? Where it's like, oh, these Haitian migrants are coming in and they don't respect our godly laws. Look, they're eating pets.
But can you imagine if Tim Walz made something look at this is J.D. Vance. This is the vice presidential nominee.
It's insane. It's insane.
Reports now show that people have had their pets abducted and eaten by people who shouldn't be in this country. What reports? What reports? Are you watching Crowder?
His X algorithm, which is all coincidentally, it's so curious why my X algorithm is all black people fighting each other on the street. Oh, well, anyway. Here I heard about these Haitian immigrants eating pets and abducting people's pets. It's
just
reports now show that people are either having their pets abducted and eaten by people who shouldn't be in the country. I just want to the original report, as you're saying, was that person who was mentally unstable ate their own cat, right? Were they going around town and abducting people's cats to eat them?
It's just a cop showed up and she killed the cat, and I don't know that.
There's just so many lies in this one two-sentence tweet.
Let's be clear. These people, too, he's talking about, these Haitian immigrants, they are here legally. They are here legally. They're not citizens, but they're immigrants who are here legally.
And all of these reports are either, as you look at some of the aggregating of it, are coming from, Charlie Kirk, Jack Posobiec,
of course,
Ian Miles Chong. And if those are the reports, that's just you saying that's my media diet, right?
Well, we know that's what this dude is. He went on that guy's show. We didn't get to it at that time, but when he made those statements about it was one of his crazy statements about women. He was on the show of a guy that used to be a regular Tim Pool guest, who had basically said on Tim Pool's program that he thinks that 15-year-old girls are more mature than boys at that age, and that like it's not that big of a deal. Essentially, I'm paraphrasing, but for them to be sexualized, these are the waters these guys are swimming in. It's very dark.
Fantastic moron. TYT is going all in on this Venezuelan gang story. At some point, MR will have to address the severe right-wing pivot they have and how dangerous it is to lead normie libs down the right-wing rabbit hole. Soon, Anna will endorse Trump over his strong stance of executing Venezuelan gangs, invading the Rockies, and complete her David Rubin arc. I don't know about the latter part, but the idea that some local news story that has one video of 5 Venezuelans with guns going into an apartment, when you have the same local news story showing dozens of tenants of that apartment complex saying, we don't have a problem here with Venezuelan gangs. We have a problem with a slumlord who is not doing any upkeep of these apartments. I don't know what to tell you. Somebody's on some type of mission. I don't know what it is, but maybe we'll spend a little more time like watching this stuff. I mean, they've got to account for this. It's like the idea you're a national show and you're going to talk about a local news story that is indicative of nothing. Crime is down. And when you're convinced that crime is up and then get the statistics and see that crime is down, then you have to start picking individuals. This is the functional equivalent of some dude from Concerned Women of America saying that in Wisconsin, in a Wisconsin school, somewhere in Wisconsin, Silent Night, they've taken out the reference to Jesus, and now we have a war on Christmas. That's what this is. This is war on Christmas shit. Full-on war on Christmas shit. Don't tell me you're like defending the people who live in this apartment complex from Venezuelan gangs when the people living in the apartment complex are saying the slumlord who is screwing us over is using this as some type of like diversion from their own responsibilities. Don't tell me you're on the side of like the people need to feel safe in their homes. People need to feel safe in their homes so they don't have rats and bed bugs and their ceiling falling through.
Well, that's what I think we played that rally, right, of the tenants outside. I haven't honestly seen their coverage, but if they didn't play that, I mean, I don't understand why you wouldn't, because I guess the thrust of the story should be about safety for everybody, and at issue in this story is ostensibly the safety of the people in that apartment complex. So I'd have to go back and watch their coverage to comment on it, but if they didn't play those statements from people, that just seems like you're giving one side of the story, and it's like,
yeah, of course.
What side of the story do you want to give? Do you want to give one that is the one that the landlords, a corporate landlord is putting out there and that the Republican mayor is backing? Or do you want to put out the story about what the tenants actually want out there? And for us, I think our mission's quite clear about who we believe in those instances. And if that's not where that coverage is oriented, I think that's obviously something that is worthy of deep criticism.
In that CBS News Colorado piece we watched last week, one of the people interviewed, she was a Spanish speaker and they translated for her. She herself was an immigrant from Venezuela. So I find like whoever is like sort of perpetuating that.
There is an obvious attempt right now of the Republican Party and all of its operatives to create like we've seen this.
It's a moral panic.
Yeah, I've seen this so many times.
Like there's a moral panic about the kitty litter in schools. Then all of a sudden the New York Post is reporting on it. All of a sudden Joe Rogan's reporting on it. Now we need to go, are there kitty litters in schools? A person who is Haitian eats a cat who's having a mental episode. Now we need to have a conversation.
They're not Haitian.
Oh, Oh, that's even more insane.
No, they were just black.
Oh,
they were just
well,
black,
okay,
and they were
so-
just assumed that it was a Haitian person.
And then
So-
you can say reports are being asked, therefore we must discuss it because questions are being asked.
Right.
So the permission structure becomes there are reports,
And it's
so
just
we
like-
have to discuss the reports. don't we?
Exactly. Right. So that's the point but what we get so frustrated about is that is how these kinds of things originate, right? And not giving oxygen to them, I feel like is kind of baseline
Charlie Jerk
progressive
says,
coverage.
MI can confirm they did not play that clip, and even theorized that the tenants are being critical of the landlord because the gangs are threatening them to stay silent. Oh boy.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Pete the Cat. If the immigrant story is so true, why isn't the response? Why are the police there so inept to let them take over an apartment building? This is all like no-go Muslim stories. No-go
Yeah.
zones. It's just absurd.
Sharia
I
law.
can't even, honestly.
Do you remember when there was all that Sharia law
Yes.
being
Are you
implemented?
kidding?
Ted Cruz also said we were going to be put into Hobbit homes. These are all things. But, I mean, look, we got to take it seriously.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.